appearance in that area, but that is a green belt.
Yes.
Right? If you have an idea of the area in Huebner and Babcock, there's an H-E-B there. There's a Church's Fried Chicken. There's a Take 5 oil change place. That whole commerce area is where they're looking in the rear. There's a green belt that runs miles and miles and miles. He says they plan on looking through the entire thing.
Yeah, so you were just talking about the lead. You know, Chief McManus had said that the police department, the FBI, they're going to go, quote, as far as we need to go to satisfy the lead that we are looking at. So that basically tells us that they're taking this lead very seriously. And they said they were there. They're obviously there right now, and they will be there again tomorrow. What he did not specify was whether that dive team has already gone into the creek, into the water there. So we are expected to learn more information about that. But again, this is an update on the search for 3-year-old Lena Keel, who disappeared December 20th. Today is day 16 in the search for that little girl. We know that a $150,000 reward is being offered for any information that leads to basically police or anybody finding her safe. And she was last seen wearing a black jacket, black shoes, and a red dress. Of course, we're going to continue to follow up on this and bring you any updates as they become available.
We do have reporters on the scene, photographers on the scene, as well as we have contacts who have been working as volunteer searchers on the scene. And they tell me that the family is at home awaiting word. They've sent a translator over there in case anything turns up so that the family can be notified. But a very sorrowful situation there, obviously, because those searchers have been working so hard. And to now be at the scene where the FBI dive team is looking underwater does not bode well for their efforts. And so there's a bit of a tearful situation there among the volunteers. But again, so far, nothing has come up. They've had absolutely nothing to report, at least to the media. So we are going to keep on it. We will let you know any information as it comes. I assume they're going to continue searching for the next hour or so, or at least until dark, and we will bring you any information if it does arrive in our newsroom. Thank you.
And now we have other breaking news. We know a suspected thief wound up in the hospital after he was shot by the owner of the vehicle. This is something that we're following out of Crestway and Randolph Road, just outside of the city of Windcrest.
Our Patty Santos arrived there just minutes after that shooting. So, Patty, can you tell us what happened?
Yeah, it involved that black BMW that you see right behind me here that crashed into that light pole. A closer look. Take a look. This is video. Shows that about a half a dozen bullet holes peppered into the driver's side of that car. Now, San Antonio police say the owner of the car put them there as he tried to stop a suspected driver who was taking off with his car. Police say the owner ran out of the convenience store when he saw the suspect driving off, and he opened fire. Witnesses then quickly jumped into action.
Guard ran out here and kind of calmed everything down. The gentleman whose car it was, who had his gun out, put his gun down, cooperated with us.
And that suspect was taken to the hospital with a couple of gunshot wounds to the arm and to the leg. Police say he's going to be looking at auto theft charges, and police say the owner of that vehicle is not expected to face any charges. We're live. Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
A suspect, 11 people behind bars, all in connection with the same crime. They're accused of running a fraud scheme and stealing $80,000 from Randolph Brooks Federal Credit Union.
Now, the arrests come after a 2-year investigation looking into how that ring operated. Those suspects are accused of opening several accounts to deposit counterfeit checks, and they would then report fraud on the account to have the bank reimburse them. Also, investigators are looking for a 12th person of interest. He's in this picture that you see right there on your screen. So if you recognize that person, you can call the Guadalupe County Crime Stoppers. The number is on your screen. It is 877-403-TIPS.
We want to take a moment to update you on COVID-19 cases in Bexar County. Metro Health reporting a change, 4,363 cases. The 7-day moving average now at 2,545. There are 2 new deaths in the last 7 days. Currently, 533 people are hospitalized with COVID-19. 116 are in the ICU. 47 patients are on a ventilator. Two of the city's largest school districts having the same problem. It's a shortage of staff. Both Northside and Northeast reporting that after the long holiday break, more teachers and staff and students are calling in sick or absent for various reasons.
So they're telling our Jesse Degollado that normally the numbers aren't as high as they've been these last couple of days. Watch this.
Hopes were high when in-person classes resumed, and it appeared the world, as teachers and students knew it, was coming back as well. Then came the Omicron variant and yet another surge.
The past couple of days have certainly been a challenge.
Same for schools in Northside ISD, the city's largest school district.
Yesterday was an anomaly because it was truly a district-wide issue.
Monday, Northside saw more than 1,200 staff, including teachers, call in. Today, more than 1,300 did. Both days, Northside had 60% of its substitute teacher slots filled, and about 16% of the students were absent.
I want to be clear, not all of those absences were illness-related, and certainly not all of them were COVID-related.
I'm sure some of it is, of course, COVID, but there could be other illnesses as well.
Others had personal reasons, he says, like caring for sick loved ones.
It is certainly fair to say that these are numbers that we've not seen before.
You know, time is truly going to tell all, and we'll certainly see if those numbers improve, as we hope they do.
Northeast had about 700 absences, including 382 teachers on both days. But it saw a big jump in substitute teachers who weren't available, 188 of them, about 100 more than usual. The absence rate among students, about 15%.
Now, both Northside and Northeast say they want to assure parents that teachers and administrators have learned how to be flexible after the challenges that they've been facing since the pandemic began, and this is just the latest challenge. Coming up at 6, how schools like this one have learned how to get creative in times like this. We're live in the Northeast Independent School District. Jesse Degollado, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Jesse. And we have just received word that St. Mary's University is delaying the start of its spring semester for some students. It's due to the increase in local COVID-19 cases. So classes for undergraduate, graduate, and PhD students are going to start on Monday, January 24th. The School of Law, though, is going to begin classes on Monday, January 10th. Students can start moving into residence halls on Sunday, January 9th, but it's important to note that residents are going to be required to show proof of negative PCR test, which was taken within 2 days of arriving on campus.
A challenging few weeks ahead. That is what President Biden says the entire country faces as Omicron cases keep surging. The president delivered that message while speaking from the White House earlier today. He said the U.S. government is now going to buy 20 million antiviral pills from Pfizer. And those are the pills that are for high-risk patients who have COVID. And the pills work because they basically keep the virus from making copies of itself. The White House says that this pill is a complete game changer, and it's going to keep more people alive. Right now, more than 100,000 Americans are in the hospital with COVID, and parents are worried that that number is going to grow because kids are back in school.
We need to help work with each other to help keep each other safe. So I'm begging people to get vaccinated.
Now, meantime, the FDA says that it's okay for younger teens, 12 to 15, to get the booster shot from Pfizer, but the CDC needs to sign off on that before it's official. Now, Governor Greg Abbott is planning to sue the Biden administration over its vaccine requirements for members of the Texas National Guard. In a letter to Major General Tracy R. Norris, Governor Abbott says that he has the authority to exempt Texas troops from receiving the vaccine. And he wrote in part, quote, "And as long as I am your commander in chief, I will not tolerate efforts to compel receipt of a COVID-19 vaccine," Abbott wrote. And he continued, quote, "To the extent the Department of Defense vaccine mandate conflicts with the order I have given, my order controls."
With COVID-19 cases surging in our city, the Bexar County Sheriff's Department adding an option today. There are a few more minutes left for this day's pop-up clinic that's right outside the Bexar County Detention Center. They're offering vaccinations, boosters, even COVID testing, and it's all going on until 5:30 tonight.
The vaccines, boosters, tests, all free. You don't need to make an appointment before you go, something to keep in mind. Bexar County Sheriff Javier Salazar says that leaders are basically trying to make this process quick and safe for everybody.
It's a good event for everybody that, if they're able to come through, we're trying to make it very, very convenient, very, very painless.
So people started getting their shots there at 6:30 this morning, and we're told that the lines there moved very quickly.
Just above freezing in San Antonio earlier this morning, low temperature of 35 degrees. Of course, some outlying areas, and especially in the hill country, we dipped below freezing. 67, our high temperature today, the average being 63. So we're climbing back above average for a change. Eagle Pass right now, 67, Del Rio, 69. We're 66. Currently in shirts, and Utopia right now at 61, but generally mid-60s, closer to and in and around San Antonio. As we go through this evening, clear sky, not much of a breeze out there. No freeze anticipated. Dew points are higher and the temperature doesn't drop below that dew point, so it looks like we'll just drop down to the mid-40s by midnight and be above freezing tomorrow morning, Sam. So that's some good news for some folks.
Definitely, Adam. We do have some slowdowns now after the holiday on the expressways and highways across the area. This is a look at Loop 410. Kind of hard to see there with the
Sun.
Thank you, Stephanie. 10-minute delay there between 281 and I-10. Also have some delays on I-10. This is an eastern part of Bexar County, right there at 1518. Common delays here. These are westbound. And let's take a look here now at the rest of the area. This is seeing some slowdowns here, and they are across the area, including on 35. But taking a look, if you're heading out to New Braunfels this evening, Stephanie and Ursula, 46 minutes right now.
So it's a big day in the tech world. The 2022 Consumer Electronics Show kicks off tomorrow. And up next, we're going to show you which products are going to be big this year. We're talking crazy tech lamps to smarter toothbrushes, even a device to monitor your dog's mood. You heard that right. So we're going to talk about all that and so much more up next. Good afternoon. I'm Myra Arthur here in the newsroom, where we're working on our coverage for 6 o'clock today. A new face on the Bexar County Commissioner's Court, at least for a while. County Judge Nelson Wolf appointing Maria Lynn Bernard as interim Precinct 3 Commissioner today. She's a former appeals court judge. We talked to the commissioner after her swearing in about the seat that she'll be holding for the time being. Plus, from an empty mall suite to a mass vaccination site. It's been 1 year since University Health set up shop at Wonderland Mall to administer the COVID-19 vaccine. How many shots they've given out so far, and what comes next for this site as the CDC looks at expanding booster shots to more kids. Those stories and more coming up on the news at 6. Giant TV screens, robots, self-driving cars. I know it's all pretty exciting. We're going to see all of this stuff at this year's Consumer Electronics Show, and it kicks off tomorrow in Las Vegas.
Oh, gadgets everywhere.
Yeah.
The show is a little bit smaller this year because of COVID, but it's just as techy and innovative as ever. 12 on your sides, Marilyn Moritz has a sneak peek at the future.
It's Las Vegas glitz and glam for geeks, the Consumer Electronics Show. Robots roam the floors in a tech lover's fantasy land. 2,200 exhibitors are showing off their innovations, from a lamp that wakes you to a natural sunrise to this toothbrush. You can brush all of your teeth in 10 seconds.
Are these things that people are going to actually be able to have in their lives and in their homes within the year?
You're looking at products that you can go to the store right now and buy, but you're also looking at what's next.
And what's next is the metaverse. Using virtual reality headsets, you can immerse yourself in another world. It's technology that Jim Fellinger says goes way beyond gaming.
If you think about people who require therapy or have gone through trauma in their lives, the metaverse actually presents you with a place where you can comfortably go in and explore things like therapy and counseling.
Health tech is big this year, evolving home COVID testing and even a device that monitors your dog's mood. Tech is also driving the future of transportation. Scooters and bikes are on display. And for pickup drivers,
when it comes to electric vehicles, is that GM will actually be showcasing their brand new Silverado electric truck.
And in a spectacle of a challenge, autonomous race cars will compete on the Las Vegas Speedway, moving at about 140 miles an hour. Talk about life in the fast lane. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Adam was getting all excited over there. He's like, yeah.
Gadgets, gizmos, tinkering.
All that stuff to look forward to, right? 65 degrees right now. We're taking a live look over 410 where traffic doesn't seem to be that bad, but it looks beautiful out there.
It is. It's a beautiful day. Great January day. You know, we made it into the 60s and we'll be in the 70s tomorrow, but don't get used to that type of warmth. We'll be above freezing tonight and even tomorrow night. Then another cold front hits us on Thursday, and that's just going to kickstart another temperature roller coaster. Big ups and downs. Wait till I show you the temperature graph. But I want to give you a recap on December. This was the second warmest December on record in San Antonio, and one of the warmest on record for the state of Texas. Also, locally, it was the warmest December in 132 years, being 10.5 degrees above average. We have more details on that, more information on our website, KSAT.com, and even some more graphs to show you regarding that. Otherwise, right now we're at 66, a dew point of 40. This is the key. Tonight, dew points are above freezing. The temperature doesn't drop past that dew point at night. So we're going to be above freezing tonight. I think even in the hill country. I'll get into the specifics in a moment. But right now, mostly 60s, some 70s. Pleasanton, Cotulla, lower 70s. No big changes across the state. Fairly uniform readings in the 60s and 70s. The coldest air right along the Canadian border, 13 below in parts of Montana, 3 degrees in Bismarck, International Falls at 10. And that cold air is going to plunge southward again in the coming days with our next cold front. It's just not going to be as intense of a cold front as what we had over the weekend. So let's talk about tomorrow. 39 Del Rio, 39 Hondo. In the hill country, mid to upper 30s. Fredericksburg, Kerrville, about 39 for a low. 43 here in town in San Antonio. And then by tomorrow afternoon, somewhat balmy for this time of year. We'll be well into the 70s. 77 Carrizo Springs, New Braunfels 73, 77 in Hondo, and in and around San Antonio about 75. You look ahead, though, as we go through the rest of this week, up, down, up, down. It's that roller coaster ride. So mid-70s tomorrow. Thursday and Friday, we're down in the 50s. Then we get back to 70 degrees for the weekend, only to fall again early next week, back down closer to 60s. So ups and downs, which are pretty typical for this time of year, to be honest with you, around here. Fairly tranquil weather pattern right now, just some energy up north, giving some more snow to the Northland, and some moisture coming on shore in the Pacific Northwest. Right now, there's nothing out there that would give us a shot at any rainfall, at least nothing good. Saturday, about a 20% chance, and that's about it. But there are some indications that we may see something develop off to our west by the middle to end of next week that could introduce some more rain chances. Until then, unfortunately, we're looking dry, no much needed moisture. 43 in the morning tomorrow, mid 70s by the afternoon, wall-to-wall sunshine. Not humid. Actually, there's only going to be one day where you notice the humidity. That's Saturday, very briefly. Freeze again Friday morning, upper 20s. Windy Thursday, windy on Sunday with those next two cold fronts.
A lot to keep an eye on. Thank you, Adam.
All right, so we're looking at that, and the numbers go up, down, up, down, up, down. Now, if you look at the Spurs, it's been down. I'm hoping that they're just going to be up now, right? Because they need to snap that losing streak. Come on.
3-game losing streak. It includes a loss at home. They've lost 2 in a row on the road. This is their second longest road trip of the season because the rodeo road trip is 8 games. This is 7 games. So the Spurs north of the border preparing to play today. The question is, who will be actually ready to play? We'll bring you update today on that. And the Cowboys say they're playing their starters on Sunday. Coming up. Our San Antonio Spurs back in action tonight, down 3 key players, including 2 starters. Star guard DeJounte Murray will miss his 5th game tonight. Coming out of the NBA's health and safety protocols, he's expected to play tomorrow night in Boston. But tonight, Murray is out along with Doug McDermott and Lonnie Walker IV, who are still in the health and safety protocols and not with the team in Canada. The Spurs will be looking for their first win tonight on their 7-game road trip. It started with losses to the Grizzlies in Memphis and in Detroit against the Pistons. Here's a tip time not far from now. 6 o'clock highlights for you tonight on the Night Beat.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
The Dallas Cowboys will wrap up their regular season when they face the Eagles in Philadelphia on Saturday night. At the very least, the Cowboys are guaranteed a playoff spot as the NFC East champs, but they can also improve their playoff seeding with a victory against Philly and two other possibilities. Victories by the Niners, the Seahawks, and the Buccaneers would move the Cowboys up to number 3, and a Cowboys win combined with victories with the Niners, the Seahawks, and the Panthers, and the Cowboys would move up to number 2. It's a long shot, but Cowboys owner Jerry Jones revealed today they have no intention of resting starters, despite the fact as many as 12 members of the Eagles are in COVID reserve right now.
The debate over the 2 ways to go is pretty obvious, but I like to play. I think in this particular case, we are going to have an extra day's rest between the playoff, our last game and the first playoff game. I think we're better served by going out there and executing and having our team out there really playing like it's the very playoff game that we're going to be playing the next week.
All right, the Houston Texans will close out their season this Sunday when they host the AFC South champion Tennessee Titans on Sunday at noon, where they'll be 10.5-point underdogs, despite the fact one of their 4 wins this season was against the Titans in Week 11 when the Texans won 22-13 in Tennessee. The Texans know what they're up against this time.
Just that we got a team in here that's fighting for a lot of stuff when they come in here. They want to be the number 1 seed and get that bye. So just being able to go out there and play the best game that we can and really give them a challenge to kind of stop their hopes.
The Washington football team revealing today they will announce their new nickname before the Super Bowl on February the 2nd, 19 months after dropping their original name. The team president, Jason Wright, says it will not be the one that was very early the favorite. That was the Wolves or the Red Wolves because of copyright issues. That's been their biggest problem, is trying to change course because there's so many copyright issues involved with so many different names they tried to get. So we'll see what they picked.
Okay, we'll see.
You got it.
We'll be right back after this.
We want to bring you back to that late-breaking update, movement in the search for Lena Keel.
Our reporter Alicia Barrera joins us live from the area where search is happening right now. Alicia, if you can give us the latest there.
So right now they've actually made this into a crime scene area. They've taped it off. The search is happening behind me. It's along a drainage ditch, but really what this team is focusing on is that wooded area. Eventually, that team that's flown in from Washington, it's made up of 12 members. They'll actually be making their way into some of that water area. It's pretty slushy, as I was told by SAPD, but there are pockets where it's pretty deep, and that's where that dive team will later focus. That's expected to happen tomorrow, sometime tomorrow. For now, they'll keep working for maybe about 30 minutes until sunset. But as for now, that search for Lena, 3-year-old Lena, continues. The chief was hoping that news today would be hopeful, but at this point, it's not. Ursula, Stefania, back to you.
All right. Thank you very much, Alicia. You know, part of what we're wondering, too, is if the temperature shifts and all that, if that's had any impact there on the terrain. But we're going to have more on that when we see you today at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, more details coming from that scene as well. We thank you for watching the News at 5 with us.
World News is next. And again, we'll see you at 6.